Welcome to today's episode of the DDC Podcast. I'm your host, Daniela Del Carpio, and I'm so happy to have you join me on this journey of unlocking your true potential. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss another episode of this podcast. Today, I want to talk about comparison and how this is killing your fitness journey. This is a topic that has been coming up quite a lot lately with my clients and something I hear from you guys on a daily basis on social media, and something that obviously has happened to me. It still happens to me, I'm not gonna lie, every now and then. I'm a human just like you, but I feel like with the work that I'm doing in my personal development, I have learned tips and ways and strategies to help me cope and deal with this much better than before. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what is the impact of comparison and your fitness goals with your fitness journey. Why does comparison have this effect? And at the end, I will share my 3 tips to stop comparing yourself. So let's get started with what is the impact of comparison in your fitness goals. Think about it this way. Every single time you find yourself comparing yourself to this girl on social media, maybe you're looking at your friend or someone that you know and you're like, wow, this person is really making progress. This person is looking amazing. This person has an amazing body. I will never be able to have that body. I will never be able to have the same lifestyle. I will never be able to be and look like this girl. This is something that can truly hinder your progress, because this negative influence will create and is creating a mental and emotional barrier. And this is only going to undermine your motivation, your consistency, and this is going to have an impact on your overall mindset. Something that my client told me the other day was, I've been in this program for this many months, just like this girl. We've been, on the same program at the same time. She's making more progress than me, and I'm not making enough progress. And something I told her, I was like, fair enough if that's how you feel. But something I want to remind you is you cannot compare your chapter 1 with someone else's chapter 20. Yes, maybe you have been here together at the same time, 3 months or whatever the time frame was, but you don't know nothing about this person. You know nothing about what this person did before joining the program. You know nothing about how much this person has been suffering before joining this program, or what things have happened in the past before joining this program. So something when you think about before we compare ourselves too much is that someone else can be in the chapter 20 and we are comparing our chapter 1 with their chapter 20. And this is only making us feel like shit. This is only making us feel like crap. And this is only holding us back because we feel like I'm a failure. I'm not good enough. I will never be able to lose this weight. I will never be able to get the body type that I want because this and that's just going to make you have a very negative mindset about yourself. So why does comparison have this effect? Well, comparing yourself to others can lead to this feeling of imperfection. So like I mentioned before, I'm not good enough. This feeling of lacking, like I'm lacking something. I don't have the knowledge. I don't have the consistency. I don't have the motivation. I don't have this. I don't have that. I don't have this and that and blah, blah. And also self-doubt. You're constantly going to be doubting yourself. Even if you have the knowledge, you're going to tell yourself that you don't. You're going to be overthinking everything that you do. Every single little thing that you do, you're going to overthink because you are comparing yourself to that person or to those girls, or maybe at the gym, whatever you're doing to compare yourself. But this is only going to make you think every single thing that you do. And you're simply going to lose your focus. You're going to neglect yourself. You're going to neglect your wins. And you're going to be focusing too much on other people, too much on the progress that other people are making. And you're going to stop putting that focus and that energy on yourself. Why? Why do we do this? Why do we care so much about other people and not ourselves? I feel like we spend so much time on other people. We spend so much of our focus on other people. And we forget that we need to be the ones worrying about ourselves only. We need to be the ones using that energy for ourselves, because if you don't look after yourself, it's going to be much harder for you to be able to help someone else. If you don't do that internal work, you will simply not be able to help someone else. So something else I want you to think about is that this comparison with other people is just acting as a roadblock for your fitness goals. And before I go in more details, remember that your fitness journey, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if this is happening with your fitness journey, I can guarantee this is also happening with this is impacting other areas of your life. Maybe at work, you're not able to get that promotion because you feel that you're not good enough. Maybe with your relationships, you're not able to be in a relationship or make your relationship work because you feel like you're not good enough, maybe with your family or maybe the relationships you have with your friends. So this is acting as a roadblock because you're gonna have that negative self-talk on a daily basis. And I can guarantee if you are someone who's comparing yourself to other people, I can guarantee this is something that is happening quite a lot, if not on a daily basis. You're also gonna be lacking motivation because you're gonna tell yourself, what's the point of me continue doing this if I'm not making that much progress? What's the point of me going to the gym if I'm not losing weight? What's the point of me following this meal plan if my body's not changing, it's not looking the way that I want it to look? You're gonna have that negative mindset and you're gonna limit your abilities to embrace challenges, to embrace setbacks. Because if we go back to a few days ago when I was talking about that your fitness journey will never be linear. There's always gonna be, weeks where you feel amazing, weeks that maybe you don't feel too amazing, they don't go too well. And if you are not able to overcome those challenges, if you're not able to embrace those setbacks, you're simply going to be more likely to give up. You're going to be more likely to be like, this is just not working. This is not for me. And there's no point of me continuing with this, which means you will never be able to reach your goals. You will never be able to be that person that you want to be. You will never be able to look the way that you want to look because you tell yourself that you are not capable and that you're a failure and this is just not for you. This is what you tell yourself, but that's not the reality. We can achieve anything that we set our mind to. We can do anything that we set our mind to. But I think because we are too impatient and we compare ourselves too much, like way too much to other people, these are things that are just holding us back. So here are some tips that I want you to try. Some tips that have helped me to stop comparing myself too much to other people, and hopefully they can help you too. So number one is self-awareness. We need to recognize and acknowledge every single time you find yourself comparing yourself to other person. Let's say right now you're on social media, you're on Instagram, scrolling, you see this girl and you're like, wow, this girl has an amazing body. I will never be able to look like her. I will never be able to have the same body type, blah, blah, blah. You need to accept it, recognize and acknowledge it. Because if you don't change something, how can you feel better? How can you ensure that you don't do this again? It might happen again, but you just have to keep doing this every single time that it happens. If you not change anything now, nothing will change. The second thing I want you to try is to celebrate your progress. Guys, this is something we don't do enough. Why? Because we feel like we're not progressing, or we feel that the progress that we are making is not good enough. This is something very insignificant. Why should I even celebrate this? You need to change that right now. You need to start celebrating every single progress that you make. It doesn't matter if it's something very, very tiny, very small, that for you may seem like, this is nothing. Or it doesn't matter if it's something very big, something that you're very proud of. If you don't celebrate your progress, you will simply never be able to acknowledge, or maybe you will never be able to recognize that you're capable of doing the things that you want to do. So let's say if you're someone who used to eat ice cream Monday to Sunday, at 8 p.m., after dinner. That was the thing that you used to do every single day. And right now, you're only doing that 3 times a week. So instead of eating ice cream 7 times a week, now you're only doing it 3 times a week. Yes, you're still doing it, but you're not doing it as much as before. So that's a progress that you should be celebrating. And by celebration, I don't mean throw a big party, go and spend money, go and do this, go and eat, go and do blah. Do something that you want. Buy yourself something, like if you want to spoil yourself with some makeup, maybe new clothes for the gym, maybe you want to buy something new for yourself, or maybe you want to take yourself out for dinner. Celebrate it, be happy, be proud of yourself, because you are the one doing the work on a daily basis to help you make that progress. You are the one sacrificing things to help you get that thing. So be happy and be proud of yourself. And something else I like to do to celebrate my own progress, I like to look at myself in the mirror, have a conversation with myself, and remind myself of how strong I am. Remind myself of how grateful I am to be able to do the things that I'm doing. Remind myself of the hard work that I'm doing and that this is paying off. Maybe I am not where I want to be just yet, but every single day, I'm just one step closer to reaching that goal. And the last thing I want you to try is to limit your social media exposure. I know it can be really tricky because we're so used to using social media every single day. But if you know that this is triggering you to compare yourself to other people, if you know this is the one place that you're always finding yourself like seeing all these girls and comparing yourself, change that. Do something about it. Maybe instead of spending 2 hours a day on social media, reduce that to 1 hour and follow some people. Don't be afraid of unfollowing people. No one cares, okay? No one cares. If that's something that triggers you and makes you feel like shit, change it. You don't want that. Don't do the things that you know makes you feel horrible. So just quickly recapping the 3 tips to stop comparing yourself. Number 1, self-awareness, recognize and acknowledge. Number 2, celebrate your progress. It doesn't matter if it's something small, celebrate it. And number 3, limit your social media exposure. I really hope this episode was helpful. I really hope these tips can help you to hopefully not compare yourself too much to other people. If you like this episode, please take a screenshot and share it on your social media and tag me at Daniela del Carpio. Until next time, and as I always say, don't ever stop believing in yourself. Ciao.